Hello everybody, this is Zacharias, back with a new Let's Play. This time I am bringing you all Avadon 2 The Corruption. As most of y'all already know, I have done my Let's Play of Avadon the Black Fortress, so here is the sequel now, and I can't wait to get into it with you all. I really enjoyed the first one, so without further ado, let's just start a new game. And what's cool about this one is that you have your same archetypes, your character types from the first one. You have your Blade Master, your Shadow Walker. I'll give you a moment to pause and read that since I already did for the first game. Your Shaman, and your Sorcerer. And what's cool about this game is that you can actually choose the gender. So if you want a female Blade Master, you can. If you want a female Shadow Walker, same with Shaman. Same with Sorceress. But the one I'm going to be running for my Let's Play here is one called the Tinkermage. And that's the new character type I will go ahead and read here. A Tinkermage is a mechanical master, able to use his skills to make powerful weapons and to construct turrets to destroy foes. A Tinkermage can shoot lethal razor discs from his wrist flinger and disarm traps and pick locks with great ease. The Tinkermage can make a deadly turret and then use his projectiles to pull foes into range and freeze them in place. Applied engineering at its finest. Okay, now normally for my playthroughs of a game like this, I would run a Blade Master. But I think I'm going to do something different and actually run a Tinkermage here since it's the new character type. And there is a certain companion in the game that I want to be able to take on missions, and taking the same character type is a bit redundant, so that's why I'm taking the Tinkermage. And my Tinkermage will be called Malik. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. And as always, I play my games on normal difficulty. You are a warrior of the Midlands Pact. The Pact is an alliance of 5 nations, banded together for safety. The Far Lands, enemies of the Pact, surround it on all sides. These are nations of barbarians, raiders, titans. Baited, jealous empires, all waiting for a sign of weakness. The Pact has one purpose: survival, by crushing the Far Lands and keeping them weak and divided. You have spent your life training and preparing to defend the Pact, and you have shown great skill. However, it is a dangerous time. The Pact's members have turned their backs on a peace that has held for centuries. Old grudges have led to civil war and outright rebellion. Once the sort of strife would be unthinkable, the Pact had a protector, determined to root out those who would weaken it. Avadon, the Black Fortress. The warriors of Avadon watch over the 5 nations of the Pact. When anyone acts to harm the peace and tranquility of the Pact, Avadon has the authority to destroy them. Its power is without limit. Avadon has watched over the Pact for 3 centuries. Its warriors wield the finest weapons. Its wizards are allowed to learn the most powerful spells, and the keeper of the Black Fortress, Redbeard, directs them all. But a recent assault shattered the Black Fortress and killed most of its warriors. Now few fight to keep the Pact unified against the many foes that would destroy it. You're one of those few fighting to help keep the Pact survive. You are stationed in Rockridge Keep, a Pact fortress in the middle of the contested lands. This rich, hilly territory is between 2 Pact nations, the proud barbarians of the Wild Realm to the east, and the strict warriors of the Cava to the west. But some of the tribes of the Wild Realm have rebelled against the Pact, demanding their independence and attacking the Cava. Your task is to hunt rebels, but they are many and well hidden. As for you, you have been sent out from the keep with the scout, who is showing you the paths of the contested lands and helping you to watch for Wild Realm rebels. The lands of your birth are on the verge of bloody and disastrous civil war. It is falling to a few brave warriors to keep the destruction at bay. Okay, so let's do that. And I'm also going to pull up something I made earlier, which is all the levels up that you get in this game, similar to the first one, so it's easier for me to track throughout. You won't be seeing it on the screen, of course, but I do have it up on my side of things so I can keep track and all that. so I don't have to memorize anything. And I am going to build a little bit differently compared to what I did in the first game, so there is that. But without further ado, let's just get right into Avadon 2. Welcome to Avadon 2. These messages will pop up to help you learn to play the game. Click somewhere to move your character. Okay, easy enough. You walk out of your wrecked, garbage-strewn barracks into another, slightly larger, wrecked, garbage-strewn barracks. Rebel raiders of the Wild Realm have been rampaging over these lands for months, and most of the hunters and woodsmen have fled. The dry southern lands of Linnaeus can be cold in the mornings. Fortunately, Silky placed your cloak by the door. Once you put it on, you can walk outside and find the scout. Alright, stand near the cloak on the floor by the door, and press this button or type G to get it. Now that your cloak is settled comfortably around your shoulders, you're ready to find Silky and continue to learn your way around the woods as a contested territory. Your new life of adventure is on the other side of the doors in the west wall. To open a door, search a box or use any other object, click on it. You enter the low hall where the woodsmen who lived and worked here took their meals. Even though the fireplace hasn't been used for months, the thick smell of smoke has settled into every available surface. Everything of value has long ago been looted by Wild Realm rebels. You are eager to find Silky and resume your patrol. As you walk out, you hear the familiar scraping of little clawed feet from the hall to the south. You hope that they haven't smelled you yet. As the humans fled, a variety of aggravating pests took their place. You're about to be attacked by a few pests. When they approach you, the game will enter combat mode and you will learn how to fight. You are now in combat. In battle, all of the characters take turns acting. During your turn, you can move, attack, cast spells, use items, and so on. Press the spacebar to end your turn early. To attack a rat, click on it. Defeat these enemies. Later, you will learn about spells and other abilities. Okay, so far I just have a blade right now to take care of these rats. When no more enemies are visible, you can end combat mode by pressing this button or typing F. Ooh, some coins. I'll take that. Okay, I don't take anything that doesn't have some value to it, so I'm going to ignore that. Ignore those sandals or whatever. You step out into a cool, sunny morning. It will be a lot warmer soon. You look around for Silky, the guy who's been showing you the woods and backways of the woods around Rockridge Keep. You don't have to look for long. Your Wild Realm scout walks around the corner and approaches you. As expected, Silky is waiting for you outside the abandoned barracks. The scout, fresh from the Wild Realm, is young, cheery, and tireless, even in the face of all the bloodshed this region has seen in the last few months. There you are, Malik. Are you ready for me to show you around the North Woods? This is the third time that Silky has taken you on patrol, showing you the paved roads and hidden pathways. It has been tiring, but her perpetual good mood is infectious. Only one more day out here, and we can head back to Rockridge Keep. Warm baths. Think of it. Remind me what our mission is? Standard patrol. Poke into the abandoned camps. Walk the paths. Look for signs of rebel raiders. Clear out any vermin. Run like the wind if we meet anyone seriously threatening. I am ready to follow. Silky gives you a sharp mock salute. Your eagerness is noted, and orders are clear. These woods are not safe. We are to stick together. Explore the section of the woods. Head back and report. Why don't we skip this patrol and head back now? Because Commander Odile would find out. He always finds out. And then, punishment. What do I do if we run into trouble? Well, I stand back and you make killing machines to shred the foe. I was promised that Tinkermages can dispatch anything up to 3 dragons. Silky laughs, but seriously, we are scouts. If we see any sort of rebel force, we run and report. I have no interest in becoming a dead hero today. You expect us to run into trouble every minute of every day. The woods folk of the Wild Realm are masters of speed and stealth. They are lethal and hard to hunt. Lucky for you, you have me. I'm from the same land and know all the same tricks. You're hunting Wild Realm rebels, but you are from the Wild Realm? For the first time, Silky seems uncomfortable. Yes, they are my people. They were of the Pact. They wanted more freedom, so they left it. I am loyal to the Pact. I understand and share their complaints, but they will not drive me to warfare. You understand their grievances. Everyone of the Wild Realm does. Belonging to the Pact and following its laws gives us safety, but at a cost. I think that is enough talk on this for now. Our path leads north. Follow. After stomping on the remnants of the fire, she leads to the north. Okay, well, we are going to explore around, of course, before we do anything else. I'm definitely taking some lockpicks. Okay, I do know for a Tinkermage, if we can find a razor disc, that would be very helpful. Because a blade isn't as good as a razor disc for a Tinkermage. At least in the path I want to go. Silky kneels in the dirt and holds up her hand. Wait a moment. You stop as she kneels and stares at invisible marks in the dirt, knowing better than to interfere with the Wild Realm scout. As I thought. Rodents. A nest of them, I think. We should probably drive them off before they breed. Rodents? Giant rats, most likely. Brigands and pests have always been drawn to the contested lands. Now it's that much worse. We might as well deal with it. The rebels won't. Why can't we leave them alone? Silky raises her eyebrows. We could, but the problem will get worse. Maybe even become a real problem. It's just a few overgrown mice. Just follow and poke anything that tries to bite you. It will be over before you know it. Let's get rid of them. That's the spirit. At least they aren't something that can really fight back. Silky draws her blade and walks north. You never stop being amazed by how silently she can move through the brush. You're about to begin another battle. In this fight, you will get tips for how to use your abilities. Alright, well first we need to get close to actually be able to execute this one. You have a variety of abilities that can help to defeat your foes. Why not try one out? Press this button or type A to use an ability. Select the ability you wish to use. Press this button to create a turret that will shoot nearby foes. When you use an ability, you won't be able to use it again for several turns. Okay, so let me make sure I exhaust the turns I have for this turret right here. But yeah, our ability, build bolt flinger, constructs a bolt flinger turret in a nearby direction. It will shoot enemies. The higher the skill, the higher the level of the flinger. And then charge turrets heals and blesses all of your existing turrets. Now there are two paths you can go with the Tinkermage, by the way. You can either go this route, which is more of an offensive type, and in that case you would need strength for it. But I do think that the turret path is a lot more better and beneficial in the long run, so we will be doing that one in this playthrough. And as for attributes, I think I'm primarily going to focus on dexterity, but I will still even it out. The only one I won't focus on would be strength, but that's about it. Alright, build a bolt flinger. But yeah, you all will eventually see how effective the turrets will be. I've only played through this. I've never finished this game, but I have played through it once, so I sort of remember how everything works pretty much. Iron spear. I'm not going to worry about spears or anything like this in this playthrough because I feel like a sword and shield combo is best because you actually have defense that way. You do more damage with the spear, but I feel like the sword and shield is best for more defense. Once again, you find Silky kneeling in the path. This time, she looks properly concerned. A pair of metal devices lie in the path. When you get closer, they start to hum and vibrate ominously. Silky looks up and waves you back. Watch out. Mines. Mines? Complex bits of clockwork machinery, enchanted with spells to detect people nearby and lash out at them when they get close. The work of Tinkermages. Silky looks at your tool belt and wrist flinger and gives you a wicked grin. It's a good chance for you to learn just how aggravating your kind can be. There are Tinkermages near here? Perhaps not. Sometimes they sell their work to those with the money, including rebels and our foes in the far lands. Doing that is a good way to disappear into the halls of Avadon and never emerge again. Or it would be, if Avadon wasn't helpless. Who do you think placed them? Not our side. Not rats. That leaves a few options, all bad. Anyway, whoever put them here, they need to go. So what do? We, more you, I think. Look closer. Silky points at the vibrating metal contraptions. You can see that they look dented and bits of rust are visible on their side. They are already breaking down. You should be able to disarm or destroy them with the minimum of bruising. Why do I have to do it instead of you? Silky sighs. Because I was told to train you whenever I could. This is me trying. Why can't we leave them? Because they might kill another scout or traveler, and I don't want his or her death on my conscience. Nor should you. Silky wags a finger at you. What will they do when I get close? Silky looks at them again. Well, they might explode or use some other sort of nasty magic. We can't be sure until you're close. I suspect most of their power has leaked away by now. Tell me what to do. Run up to them and smash them. That's what I do. Or if you get close quickly, you can use your training with locks and traps and such to disarm them. Oh, I know, right? That's life in the army of the pack. Good luck. If you get hurt, I have bandages. Go to it. Your guide and trainer steps well back, making sure that she is outside of the blast radius. You fight mines like other foes, except you can only attack them if you are standing next to them. Enough damage will deactivate them. Shadow Walkers, Sorcerers, and Tinkermages have training with mechanical devices, and they will be much more effective disarming mines. Both mines have been deactivated. Silky claps her hands. Another triumph for the pack. We can proceed, but we should be very careful. I will be. Wise of you. Mines are expensive, even rusty ones. This region is important to someone. Come on. Silky walks past mine, giving its iron casing a little kick as she passes by. Okay, I'm still hoping I can get a razor disc sometime soon. Make things a little bit easier for me. As you walk through this lovely, neglected vineyard, it occurs to you that you should save the game if you haven't not done so already. Press the disk button or type Ctrl S to access the save game window. You can also press F3 to make a quick save file and press F4 to load your quick save file. Finally, whenever you enter a new region, Avadon 2 will helpfully make a backup save game for you. It will be called autosave on the load game window. Okay, well, I'm not going to save right now. Still just in the process of exploring everything I can. You walk by another abandoned building. The faint odor of sour wine comes from a broken window. Silky looks at the dirt in front of the door. To your eyes, it seems completely featureless, but your Wild Realm guide nods at the soil sagely and says, wretches. Wretches? Small humanoids, fast breeding, violent, thieves. We leave them alone if they keep to themselves and don't raid our farms, which never happens. I don't see anything. Silky nods. Very subtle signs, a little scuffing, a lingering odor. There are wretches in there, hoping we don't find them. The scout looks to the east, more worried. I'm much more concerned about what I'm seeing over there. Come on. The path to the east has more mines on it. However, even from this distance, you can see that they are different from the ones you have already destroyed. They are bigger, and the newly forged casings reflect the sunlight. You can hear them hum from where you stand. They must have been recently charged with power. You suspect that it would be a good idea to speak with Silky before tinkering with them. Silky is down on one knee, looking at the second clump of mines with a worried expression. They are obviously newer and more dangerous than the others. As you get closer, your feet feel the vibrations they are putting out. The scout is clearly disturbed. When you look closer, she doesn't seem to be looking at the mines. Instead, she stares at the ground between them, rapidly considering the possibilities. Then Silky looks up at you. Malik, I have a question. Ask away. Silky is silent for a long moment. Then she begins to talk as if the mines weren't there at all. The lives we live. The pact is a power that rules over us all. Tells us what we can and can't do, and in return, it gives us safety. Is that a fair trade? Is that the life we should live? Why are you asking me this now? I'm not sure. Perhaps because this is the first time we are facing real danger, and there is so much I don't know about you. Will you answer me? It is fair. Safety is more important than everything. That is the principle of the pact, yes. I am a soldier of the pact, so I must agree. But my people, the people of the Wild Realm, are dying to save the old ways. Do they see something we don't? Then she returns to the moment. I don't know. I don't think it matters as much as the problem at hand. The problem at hand? These mines, these are not like the last two. They're new, powerful, freshly enchanted, and I think I can see the tracks of those who placed them. Fresh tracks. What else can you tell about them? They're dangerous, I am sure of it. Yet I know nothing about who placed them or why they are here. Should we be afraid? Always, but perhaps now more than usual. Why don't I disarm them? I enjoy your confidence, but I suspect that the result would be your reduction to a pile of ash. How will we pass them, then? I am thinking on that. I will need time. Why don't you enter the building behind us and slay a few of the wretches with them? It will do some good and give me the time I need to think. You start to ask another question, but Silky is already lost in thought, consumed with the problem of passing the mines. Okay, so we have a potion of health here. You realize that the bottle on the table isn't wine. It's a flask of herbal remedy, labeled with the symbol of the Pact Army. A passing soldier must have forgotten it here. This could be very useful if you get into a nasty fight, which seems increasingly likely with every passing moment. Get the potion. Once it's in your pack, press the star button next to it to use it. You can use scrolls and lamps in the same way. Okay, I don't care for ever getting lamps in this game, so I will just ignore that. You are in the cellar of an abandoned winery. The smell of sour wine is heavy in the air. Several of the nearby casks have been smashed and the floor is sticky with their contents. As you round the corner, a wretch in the shadows howls, "Go! Hunt! Kill!" And then you hear snarling and the sound of many padded feet on gravel. You created this turret. You may destroy it if you wish. Okay, keep in mind that you won't be able to place several of the same turret in one spot, so just make sure. So yes, just make sure you destroy a turret before you move on to the next area, because you may end up being too close to summon another one, like in enemy range. I mean, you'll see as I play, of course, what exactly that means. Okay. Got them taken care of. If I did have a Blade Master, I would kill these enemies so much easier and faster, but it is fun to try to do with the Tinkermage at the same time. Alright, melee protection, we'll put that on. Ooh, nice, we can get rid of the default cloak we had. So let's head back up, since that's all we needed to do here. Silky is still behind the vines when you return. As you approach, she stands up. "I think it's safe. I was able to disable the little wires on the edge that sense your approach. Amazing what a few thrown rocks can do. We should move." Then, before you can ask any more questions, Silky turns and walks swiftly past the mines, which, happily, don't explode. Silky is staring at a thick tangle of brambles. It looks like it would take hours of sweaty work with machetes to clear a way through them. Then the scout kneels and pulls aside a large clump of dried grass, revealing a narrow tunnel through. Then she looks over at you. Silky is trying to act unconcerned. but you've traveled with Scout long enough to see through her act. Our patrol is coming to an end, and with it, your training. I'd like to know more about how you disarm those mines. In due time. For now, I suspect we need to hurry. No more training? In the last few weeks, I have taken you through all the areas you will be patrolling, showed you the hidden path, taught you what little I know. Now we are going to head back to Rockridge Keep, and Commander Odell will ask you a few questions. Such as? Just questions to determine where you are best placed and who you want to work with. That's why I wanted to talk to you. Say what you need to. I just want you to know that I have enjoyed traveling with you. You are competent and generally good company. I want you to know that if you want to be teamed up with me for patrols, Silky pauses nervously. I would not mind. I'm eager to travel with you more. Silky smiles. It's hard to tell through the dust of the trail, but you think you see the tiniest sign of a blush. I am pleased. I think that will increase our chances of survival a tiny amount. But I suppose there is one more little thing. One more thing? Silky looks grim. Yes, one thing. We need to get back to Rockridge Keep alive. Let's hurry. The scout crawls down the tunnel through the brambles. Silky says, I have good news. We can return to Rockridge Keep. There are a few more paths we can check, but I think we'd better return and report what we've seen. Stand back, I'm going to hide the path again. You move safely out of the way. Now Silky disguises the path and conceals your tracks. You hear something to the north. Someone is hacking their way through the undergrowth. It's quiet at first, but whoever it is getting closer quickly. Of course, it doesn't take long for the scout to hear it. Odd, she says. I wonder. The scout walks toward the thick brambles to the north, motioning for you to follow. Silky rests her hand on her weapon and watches the brush to the north. Be ready. I've never heard a wild realm raider make so much noise. I doubt it's a problem, but we should wait and see. And then the invaders hack their way out into the open. You both see who you are facing. Silky gasps. I don't know how I missed this. How could they have... The ogres look no less surprised. They stare at you, not sure what to do. Silky takes a step back, looks at you, and says, This is no minor raid. Run! She turns to flee. We need to warn Rockridge Keep. Yes, that is our mission now. Run! And she does so, not waiting to see if you follow. The ogres, them creatures in the best of times, stare at you, unsure what to do. It won't be long until they come to a decision. You see an encampment on the road ahead. Your spirits fall at first until you realize that these aren't rebel invaders come to cut you off. There is a blade master of the Cava sitting at the fire, drinking from a mug of steaming liquid. When you enter the camp, he calmly sets down his mug, stands, and looks at you. I am Watcher Gamal. You seem concerned. Approach and report. The Cava blade master is waiting for you. Stop a moment. Tell me what is happening. Is it Wild Realm Raiders again? I'll gladly spit them for you. What were those explosions? The Watcher shakes his head. I don't know, but they came from down the road. Explosion. Hot wind. Big cloud of dust. We were just getting ready to go investigate. Ogres are attacking. Help me slay them. Gamal seems taken aback. Ogres? Here? I suppose we'd better teach them that their kind isn't welcome in Packlands. You move on and report to the keep. We'll stop them here. There is a horn hanging from his belt. He removes it and raises it to his lips. All right, I'm going. Good. Your job is to spread the news. You follow Silky. We'll be fine. He blows a long, clear note on the horn. Any of your allies in the nearby woods now know that something is wrong. As you leave the relative safety of the packed encampment, there is another explosion not far to the south. The ground shakes under your feet and a cloud of dust and sulfurous smoke washes over you. You catch up with Silky as she looks with disgust at the results of the explosion. A heap of boulders and logs covers the road to the south. Ah, Malik. You're alright. Good. The scout points at the debris. We could climb over that mess quickly enough, but you see what she is pointing at. Several large mines. They were concealed by a thin layer of dirt that the blast cleared away. There are just a few visible, but I'm sure there are more. Can we disarm them? In time, perhaps, if the invaders don't catch or kill us, or if a concealed mine doesn't slay us, it wouldn't be wise to try. What do? We need to get our information to Rockridge Keep, but only one of us needs to get through. We need to split up. Are you sure that's wise? No, but I believe it's our best chance. If we split up, we won't be able to fight as well. Malik, this is an invasion. If we have to fight, we're probably dead. How do I get to the keep? The main road south to the keep is not far away. Take the larger path west from here to get to the road. If you head west, it won't be long before you find a landmark you recognize. The smaller, harder to find paths are to the east. I'll go that way. The important thing is to hurry. The sooner we get word to Commander Odell, the better our chances. The better our chances of what? Surviving, either of us. What do you think is happening? Something big. Bigger than any of us saw coming. I only wish I had gotten more time. You try to ask what she meant by that, but she shakes her head. I'll be going then. You turn to leave, but Silky puts her hand on your shoulder. Malik, I wish you the best of luck. I wish we'd had more time to wander the woods. Silky nods. As do I. Silky shakes her head. Enough time wasted. It's time. Go. You nod, turn, and walk away. When you look back soon after, Silky's already heading down the east road. Okay, I know we don't have to fight these rats, but we can definitely do that, so. I'll take all the XP I can get right now. Apparently the pack soldiers are fighting those ogres, so. That's probably why the game is just waiting on them to get done. Just ahead, two bands of warriors face each other around an abandoned campsite. A fresh body is on the ground nearby. Then you get close enough for a good look. You aren't hugely up to date on the politics of the area, but you can easily recognize two pack warriors on one side and a crowd of wild room rebels on the other. Unaware of your presence, the rebels attack the two vastly outnumbered soldiers. Then one of the pack soldiers notices you and does something you didn't predict. He points at you and shouts, "Avadon, come to rescue us at last." This has a dramatic effect. The rebels turn and notice you, panic on their faces. Just attack. Your charge terrifies the rebels. Even in this state of decline, the name of Avadon still has the ability to inspire fear. Alas, they react to your charge by moving to kill the soldiers as quickly as they can. I think I need to get a little bit closer for the turret to actually be effective here. I do want to be able to move my camera a little bit here. Come on now. Okay, I guess we can put on the leather jerkin. And the leather greaves. The soldier is understandably grateful that you saved his life. I thought it was done for. You ask how to get to Rockridge Keep from here. Just take the path south and go east. You'll find the Rockridge Road in no time. Okay, good. I found a, I see a razor disc down there. Okay, iron razor disc, let's put that on him. He can't use a short bow, but we can keep these anyway for somebody, for a couple of companions later. When you select an enemy, you will attack it with your current weapon. Press this button to attack with your melee weapon, or press this button to use your missed weapon. You can also press W to switch. Try it now. Okay, well obviously the razor disc is going to do more damage, and Tinkermages have something called a razor flinger to fire these, so that's why. When you are next to a foe and then move away, your enemy will stop your movement. You will only be able to move one space for the rest of the turn. If you need to end your turn early, you can do this by pressing the spacebar or clicking on your active character. Which you can do, yeah, like that. Just hit that twice. But yeah, the razor disc is definitely going to be more effective here. With great relief, you return to the main road heading to Rockridge Keep. All you need to do is follow it south and you will be able to find the fort and make your report. There are no obstructions or guards. The way seems clear. And then you hear something to the east. Footsteps. Something huge and loud. Something fast. You decide that it would be prudent to get out of the way. You conceal yourself behind one of the stone pillars that marks the path to the keep. From your hiding place, you watch in horror as Silky runs down the road from the northeast. The scout's forehead bears a fresh wound, and blood runs down her face. Then, as you start to step out to offer aid, she notices you and waves you back. When you see what is chasing Silky, you do what she wants. Silky is fleet of foot, but she is completely unable to outpace the Titan, especially wounded. And that is what is giving chase. An armed Titan, 12 feet tall, with a throwing rock in one hand and a massive club in the other. The pact exiled all Titans to a desolate peninsula far to the south, under threat of death if they ever leave their lands. For these creatures to be aiding the rebels is bad news. Silky realizes that she is unable to outpace her massive pursuer, and so she turns to face him. The Titan stares down at your companion and laughs. Your taunts amuse me, little thing. I am Gorus, the hunter. I never lose my prey. Silky starts to snarl a retort, her voice choked with pain. However, before she can speak, the Titan's fist lashes out. You never imagined that a beast so large and clumsy could move so fast. And a moment later, Silky's on the ground. You back up into the shadows as the Titan looks around for other pack soldiers. With a nasty laugh, he picks Silky's body up and slings it over his shoulder. Then he and the ogres turn and walk back up the road. Once again, you are alone in the clearing. You survived, and the road to Rockridge Keep awaits you. A grim journey with ugly news to report. Silky is either dead or a prisoner. And considering the blows Silky took, you couldn't say which is more likely. The road south to Rockridge Keep lies before you, clear and unguarded. You are where you need to be, but you didn't get here without great cost. It's time to go and warn the keep. Walk south onto the shaded area to leave this region. You will be on the world map where you can choose to travel to Rockridge Keep. Okay. You gain levels by completing quests and defeating foes. When you gain a level, you can increase your base statistics and your abilities. Press the plus button to increase your base statistics, strength, dexterity, etc. Then select the abilities to the right you wish to increase. Okay, so let's do this. And we'll do this and this for now. We'll explore the rest of that area later, but for right now, let's just continue with our main mission. It was a harrowing trip here, running down side roads, avoiding bands of ogres and Wilderham rebels, but you made it. The spires of Rockridge Keep rise from the stone peaks above you to the south. At last, you can enter and give your report to Commander Odell. Then you see the lines of smoke rising from the keep. The wind occasionally brings the sounds of screams and metal clashing on metal. You finally note the many fresh boot prints in the mud of the road. There is a battle going on here. To give your report, you will need to pass through the battle lines. As you walk around the stand of trees, a woman catches sight of you. She is human, in her 30s, exhausted and covered with scratches. She is clad in steel armor and her sword is in her hand. When she sees you, she waves and runs to greet you. As she gets close, you see that she has a familiar symbol on the chest of her armor. She is the Blade Master of the Kava, and the symbol marks her as a Hand of Avadon. She is a member of the most fearsome, elite band of warriors tasked to defend the pact, and she is determined to speak with you. The Blade Master approaches you, sword in hand. When she gets close enough to see you clearly, she nods. I wasn't expecting to find you, but I'm glad I did. You are Malik, yes? Yes, I am Malik. She nods. I am glad to hear it. I am Khalida, Blade Master and Hand of Avadon. She gives you a casual salute with the mailed hand. How did you know who I am? Commander Odell gave me descriptions of his scouts before he sent me out. What are you doing here? Flipping through the enemy assault, looking for scouts to rescue and isolated foes to slay. A Hand of Avadon goes where she is needed. I am trying to get to the keep, and so you shall. Odell will want to see you, and I will make it happen. Come, the gates of Avadon watches over you now. You are a Hand of Avadon. Something very odd happens to Khalida when you ask the question. She opens her mouth to respond, then she freezes. Her eyes glaze over for several seconds. She stands perfectly still, and then she starts moving again. She looks confused for a moment before saying simply, I am. Are you alright? She shows no sign of understanding what you are referring to. Only a few scratches. I had to dispatch some rebels on the way out here. What do you do? I hunt the foes of the pack. I use the power and privilege given me by Redbeard to hound our enemies without restraint. I would like to become a hand. Khalida laughs. Perhaps this is not the best time to ask for a new job. The task before us is difficult enough. I welcome your assistance. Khalida nods. I am glad, not that you could turn it aside. If a Hand of Avadon decides on an act, that act will occur. I was traveling with a scout named Silky, who fell to a Titan attack. Ah, my condolences. I received her description. This knowledge should be passed on to Odell. What is our plan? Go west and enter the keep gate, killing all who stand in our way. No foe of the pact will live, unless battle would mean our assured death. Then we will run and find another way. You continue up the steep road toward Rockridge Keep. Kalita moves to walk at your side. You have been joined by a Blade Master. Blade Masters are skilled with blades, can wear heavy armor, and can use war cries to strengthen their allies. In combat, she is under your control. You and she will take turns acting in combat. As you proceed, other characters will offer their aid to you, and you can choose which of them to take with you on adventures. Okay, so that increase, so we'll increase that. And we'll increase these too. I'm making sure to increase these skills right here that don't have a pathway up to anything, because these go up to 4 anyway. And yeah, you're going to want that because of how it's very handy. I waited until the very last minute to increase the basic skills for my characters, and I could have used them like so much earlier. So that was a huge downside to that. But this time I'll make sure those are trained relatively quickly. Alright, now that we met Kalita, let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and save the game right here. But I will see you all very soon with the next part of the Let's Play as we continue more of Avadon 2: The Corruption. I'll see you all until then.